Hey there guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about the upcoming update to Item World or Steel Castle Melfilka. As we've seen on the anniversary live stream for Global, we know that we're going to be getting the updated Item World in the near future. We don't know exactly when, they just said coming soon. So we're going to be showing some of the differences to Item World as opposed to what you're used to. So first of all, the big main thing about Item World that is different is the rarity system. So let's go ahead and show real quick right here. Of course, this is all in Japanese. Unfortunately, this is the JP server, but I'll explain to you in English what is going on. So these are the rare weapon enchants that are available in the game. So there's the bow enchant, which is 35% attack and magic. There's the this looks like the hammer enchant, which is HP and defense. There's I think this is the harp or the instrument enchant, which is spirit and HP. Anyway, you get the idea. I think this is attack and HP, which is like sword, katana, the basically physical weapon enchants. All the way down, there's the dagger enchant. There's the gun and axe enchant, which is 40% attack power, 40% MP for the whip, and 40% HP for maces. Anyway, these are no longer like a mace enchant or a harp enchant or a gun enchant. They're just an enchantment. Any of these can be obtained on any single weapon you want, and you can get multiple of these on the same weapon. You can't get the same one, of course, but you can, for example, if you want to go extreme, on the same weapon, you could get the bow enchant, which is 35 attack and magic, the gun enchant. I'm calling them the old versions. These are, again, no longer specific to these weapons, but just for, what you're familiar with, I'll use the old terms. But anyway, you could get the bow enchant, which is 35, the gun enchant, which is 40, that's 75, and you could also get either just a 20% attack power, or you could get the sword enchant, which is 20% attack power. So that would be 35, 40, and 25, which is, I think... math is fun. 95% attack power on any single weapon you want. You could also, and this is going to be the bigger deal, you could get things like, for example, the whip enchant, which is 40% MP, the staff enchant, which is, I think this one right here, which is 20% spirit and 20% MP, and then the global exclusive 20% MP enchant, for a grand total of 80% MP on a meteor weapon. For example, the weapon for Genesis, you could put it on your Dark Vision sword, you could put it on the upcoming Dark Vision's rod, you could put it on things like Tyvis's greatsword, the Esper Tyvis in the distant future. But anyway, you can now get 80% MP on your meteor units, so that's really powerful as well. So anyway, all of these rare enchants are available to every single weapon type. Now, the other major change is when you're finished an Item World run and you start a new run, typically you would start fresh as you're used to. You go in there, let's for example say you were running Genesis's sword, and you got 20% MP, 15% MP, and then you only got 5% MP, and you were really chasing that perfect roll of 45%, so you were missing the 10%, and you wanted to go in again, you would start at nothing. All the old enchantments were gone. You would have to get all 3 perfects on the same run to get it. Well, after the update, all of your Item World enchantments carry over and persist. So I'm going to show you, for example, we're going to run my Dark Vision's rod in the Item World. As you can see, previously my best Dark Vision's enchantment on the rod is 15 magic, 12 magic, and 40 MP. I actually got the whip rare on my Dark Vision's rod. But it's not the whip rare anymore, it's just the MP rare, which is universal to all weapons. But we're going to go in here, and when we start the Item World run, my existing enchantments are not going to be removed. They're going to start on the weapon. and we can mix and match from there. Now, the other big thing about Item World is the actual Item World itself. This was changed as well. You might be used to, it's like a mix match of either one fight. Some of these have randomly 2 fights for no reason. All the enemies have like 5 HP. They die at the drop of a hat. That has been updated. These enemies are significantly more bulkier at this point. Also, they have streamlined it, so every single floor of Item World is a single fight. They don't have those double fights for like random. I think it was floor 3, 5, and 6 or something. And the old Item World were like 2 waves for really no purpose, just extra tediousness. Well, now all the Item Worlds, all 10 floors, are single encounters, but they have been made much bulkier. Now, a lot of you, myself included, are probably used to running Item World with, like, for example, a Berserk or Tyvus, or not a Berserk, but a auto, I'm not sure what it's called, his little fire attack that automatically hits, and you probably have that just wiping out the whole enemies, or maybe you've got like a Berserk AoE attacker, and it just auto kills the stages. For the most part, as you're going to see, that's not going to work anymore. The enemies are much bulkier. Now, the first 2 floors are still very, very easy. No problem. It's level 1. But as we get to about level 3 or 4, the enemies start getting too bulky for things like Tyvus to one-turn kill. You're going to need some real damage dealers to kill these. You don't need a super good damage dealer, but you're going to need something. Anyway, back to what I was saying about enchants carryover. This is floor 1, as you're going to see right here. Boom. Look at the top. All of our enchantments are still there. So we can now directly replace 1 enchant at a time. This is so good. This means we can keep running a near perfect weapon. We're never going to start from scratch again, and we can keep running it, and once we get that last exact perfect modifier, we can swap in just that modifier and be good to go. It'll be so nice. But obviously I don't want any of these. We're going to skip, and we're going to go ahead and run the whole Item World. All 10 floors. It won't take that long, but I'm going to show you, like, eventually it gets to the point where the enemies are just so bulky you can't OTK them with Tyvus anymore. I think it happens around floor 3 or 4. They start getting too bulky for Tyvus to OTK. Maybe floor 5, I don't know. But the point is, it's definitely going to get to the point where you're going to need some kind of real damage dealer, maybe some chaining, etc. to kill these enemies. You can't just sleepwalk your way through it anymore. I don't want any of this, obviously. We keep going. It's going to be hard for me to find a good enchant for my Dark Visions rod. I'd really like to get either the old rod enchant or maybe the bow enchant. Unfortunately, on the JP server, Meteor is not really a thing because the JP server doesn't have the Dazzling Demoness. So the reason I took that 40% MP on my rod back in the day is because it was just there, and I haven't really found very much. Honestly speaking, I don't run Item World that often on JP because I'm just too casual for it. But, you know, we're gonna run it here, and I don't want any of this. Let's keep going. And now we're on floor 4. I think this is about when the enemies become too bulky for Tyvus to OTK. Maybe floor 5. But yeah, we'll see eventually. Oh, we're still going. Okay. Oh, nope, there it is. So yeah, so you say at this point, the enemies start becoming too bulky for Tyvus and Cecil and all to kill on turn 1, which is fine. Now, once we get to the later floors, like floor 7, 8, 9, 10, you're really going to need, like, a real damage dealer. And then it's not like a trial level. It's still going to be very easy to turn 1 OTK. But what I mean by that is you're going to want, like, some chaining, maybe some killers, something like that. Now, just for simplicity, I'm going to be running things like Ilmateal, which is going to automatically omni-buff our party. As you can see here, we have omni-buff to every single killer, just for convenience. And I'm going to be using Yuffie in her shift form, because it's an AoE tag chainer. She's a premium, therefore she has omni-killer in her kit. And we're going to use Roka to just LB. So Roka's going to LB, and Yuffie's going to tag chain. Super easy, and because Yuffie's a tag chainer, there you go. And as you see, she's hitting the damage cap, not a problem. As long as you've got a real damage dealer, you're fine. You could also use actual chainers, like 2 AoE chainers, a different tag chainer. Tag chainers are just like the lazy mode, easy way to do it. Honestly speaking, you maybe even could use a Berserked party, for example, like Machina Ma Riku, you know, Berserker Riku. With Berserk, she could probably still OTK these, but because her normal attack is a tag chain. I didn't try that. Maybe I should try because it'd be even less input. But and as you can see here, now Tybus is doing less than 30% on the enemies. But yeah, I actually should try this later. I should have done it beforehand. I'm gonna try, just out of curiosity, Berserker Riku with an actual Berserk and see if she can just, without any input from me, OTK all the way through level 10. Because her normal attack is a tag chain. The problem with that is her normal attack is not very strong if you didn't power it up with the LB first. There's 10% MP. If we were going for like a meteor weapon, we'd obviously trade that out, but we're not going for a meteor weapon. We're looking for high magic rolls. And on the JP server, we don't have things that Global did, which is, Global added things like 20%. This sound effects are a little loud. Let's turn that down a little bit. Anyway, yeah, the JP server never added things like the 20% stat rolls. Also, the global server has special enchantments like the 20 HP and Spirit and the 20 defense and HP. Now, those are the same, technically speaking, as things like the Hammer Rare and all that, but they're not actually the same. And also, JP never did purge those bad enchants, like the 1%, the 3%. I think it's 1, 3, 7, and 12. Thankfully, Global purged those and made it real nice. JP has never really come around and purged those useless enchantments, so they're still here on the JP server. Yeah, JP Item World is overall a lot worse, not counting the new update where you can carry over enchants, that kind of stuff. But we're gonna go to level 10, and we're gonna see if I can get some better rolls on my rod. And we're getting pretty terrible rolls so far. We haven't seen anything valuable whatsoever, which is kind of funny. No rares, nothing. Normally I see at least one rare per run because on JP the rates for rares are slightly higher than Global. So you'll usually see them more on JP, but it's still not guaranteed. As you can see right here, that dragon. The enemies are not dying very quickly anymore. Like, they're getting bulky. Now, we are using just one single tag chaining unit. We could use a whole party of damage dealers all chaining their LBs, like Rebel Lightning and Squall and Yuffie and all that kind of stuff. And we can do a whole big to-do party and overkill it. But honestly, Yuffie is going to be enough all the way through level 10 with the party we're using. Now we're on level 9, so here we go. And keep in mind, by the way, leader skills do not work in Item World. So don't be tempted to build like a Blessing of the Crystals party, because leader skills just don't work. And you see this, like these enemies, they're pretty freaking bulky on the higher levels. Like, you can't go in here with just a brainless, non-chaining, nothing party and get it done. Like Yuffie, the premium tag chainer, and while she's not the strongest unit ever, she's only sort of barely killing these, and that's with Roka using her buff. So, yeah. Anyway, still nothing from this Item World run. This is not going well. But we're gonna hope level 10 brings us like a bunch of rare options, and we'll grab something nice. But here's the final boss, and as you can see, Tybus's auto attack did literally nothing, not even 1%. Roka will go, and Yuffie will go, and okay, there we go. So we actually are using pretty good Demon Killer. So there it is, handled, not that big a deal. And there it is. There was our 10 floors of Item World. It was a very relatively unsuccessful Item World. We didn't get any kind of good enchantments. That being said, we didn't see the final options. So here we go. Is this going to be a complete waste of 10 orbs, or did we get something useful? And we got absolutely nothing. 15 Spirit, 3% refreshed, and 10 attack power. Yeah, that was a pretty worthless Item World run. Now then, here we go. But again, we can keep our old enchant or go with the new enchant. Now, funnily enough, the new enchants are the same with the old. We didn't change anything, so you can pick either one you want. Doesn't really matter. And there it is. So we've cleared Item World, but that's basically the main thing for you to know about the Item World. So the short recap of bullet points: you can get any enchantment you want from. You can get all of these from Item World. These are on any weapon. You can mix and match them. You can get 3 rares. The enchantments carry over run to run. And then the other big thing is the enemies are a lot bulkier, so you're going to need some kind of real damage dealer. But as you saw, just a single tag chainer with some buffs is all you really need. You just can't go in there with like a half-naked, 7-star and still OTK. You're going to need a little bit of a serious serious party, or a serious unit, I should say, not really a whole party. Anyway, there it is. Hope it's been informative. Hope Global brings this relatively quickly, and see you on Global when it gets here. Later.